All right, Shinigami, do me a favor, start talking. I have my buddy hopping in to see if he can hear you. By the way, if you want to pull up the stream as well, tell me if you can hear yourself. I know you're muted right now, but unmute yourself for a second.
Hello, hello.
Can you hear
Can
yourself?
hear? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, beautiful. Cool. I'm going to post a link on Twitter. Close this. I have your template up as well, and I'll probably just ask you to share your screen.
Let me see if I can do that. Share my screen.
Not yet, but in a
Screens.
little bit. But if you want to try, yeah. If you want to do it on Discord
Yeah,
so we can
yeah.
see.
Let me just. s- Yeah, it's working. It's okay.
Cool. Cool. I'm just sending out a tweet. And pulling up the stream. Cool, we got
Let
some
me
viewers.
see.
Good morning, good morning. Today we'll be announcing the giveaway powered by Phemex, by the way. All my trading is done on Phemex. This account I have up is the $5,000 giveaway. I'm sorry, $5,000 challenge account. And if you signed up, then you are eligible for the giveaway. Giveaway announcement will be today. We have three winners, $1,000 each. I have the UIDs. I did not do the raffle. Phemex did the raffle. They chose um, they chose the winners, and they actually took anybody out who deposited and then instantly withdrew. So if you did that, shame on you. I should have said something. I didn't know it was going to be like that, but it's not a big deal. There will be more giveaways in the future. Today we have Shinigami on with us. Shinigami, if you want to say what up, make sure everyone can hear you.
Oh, what's up, man? Let me know if people can hear me.
Cool, cool. If you guys can hear Shinigami, just throw me some sort of feedback, and we'll continue onwards. Anyways, today for first I want to discuss some of the trades we took last night. Awesome, Paul says we can hear you. Uh, Before we get started with Shinigami, I'm just want to go over some of the trades we took. This XRP trade we took on the challenge account played out exactly how I drew it. I even just added a little bit now. I thought I was going to get more bids. Not going to happen. I just marketed. I like to chase the market sometimes, but this was insane. We saw this higher low get put in. Obvious trend line, and then we saw resistance break out, and it's actually retesting resistance now. Now support this little breaker area, which is amazing. I love seeing shit play out exactly how I expect it to. It doesn't happen all the time, but when it does, it gives me confidence to hold that trade or add to it. I wasn't as efficient on adding, as you can see where my entry currently is. I wanted it a bit lower. On my main account, I was a little more efficient. I don't have Phemex challenge account on my mobile app. I have my main account. So, I don't really prioritize this account, but I still want to be able to show you guys what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. I take these streams to do that. But as you can see, we're kind of consolidating right here now. We'll probably start to move off of it. And Bitcoin is still a bit strong. I don't know if you guys can hear the AGGR template running in the background. It is Shinigami's. Um, Still my favorite template ever. I like Byzantine generals too, but Shinigami's is the best. He sent it to me like a few months ago, and I never changed it. Two more trades I want to look at before we get moving. Oh no, actually I'm not in Litecoin. I'm not in anything else on this challenge account, so I will look at some other trades in a bit. But I did enter Theta on my main account. Um, there's not much volume on this thing yet, but this setup is amazing to me. You get this rounding bottom, higher lows, higher lows, higher lows, and then you have this like gap of liquidity that will probably get tested, from here to here. So set bids. None of this is financial advice. This is what I'm doing. It's a trading journal. It's not a paid group, but I'm gonna set bids, from like 90 cents up to about current market price and ladder them how I respectively do. And then I'll set asks from like $1.04 all the way up to $1.08. For those of you who want to see what it looks like visually, and we can leave this here to reference it again. Asks up there and bids down here. And then what I expect for price action is going to be something fairly simple. If it's as bullish as we think it is and the whole market's as bullish as we think it is, I expect something like this. and the whole jazz. Simple price action. Cool. Now that we've talked about trades that I'm looking at for the challenge account, I want to talk to Shinigami. Shin, do you want to share your screen? Do you want me to just pull up your template like this? I kind of manipulated a little bit, and for a specific reason, FTX was here. Obviously, we don't have FTX anymore.
Yeah,
Um, but what do you want to do? You want to share your screen and see if I can put your screen up here?
yeah. Let me see if I can share my screen.
All right, cool. Yeah, Shinny is a big Chad. We got Suma saying, shouting you out here. Love to see it. While Shinny's figuring that out, I also want to mention I have some other guests coming on in the next few days, in the next week. I've talked to Skew, Delta Skew, legend. We got Zoran coming on. We've got Trader Main coming on. We've got Sherpa coming on. And I'm talking to Smokey today. I want to spread everything out, so I'm not streaming every day or every other day. Shin, I can see,
Can you see my screen?
I can only see, no, I can't. I can't see your screen to be honest. It's showing me just oh, never mind. I can see it. Cool. All right.
Can you?
Yes,
Oh,
sir.
yeah, I pulled up the AGGR. Can you see the AGGR?
Yes, sir. Let's go full screen here. All right, everyone watching, give us some feedback if if you can hear him well, if you can see him well, if you can see my full screen well. Um, if not, let me know, and we'll adjust it as so. But remember, there's a little lag on chat. So, Shin, go ahead, tell us about your template. How you put it together, why you put it together, what you look for. Are you scalping with it? What you're doing with it, and what everything is. I'll ask you questions that I see in the chat as well.
Sure. Yeah. So I put this template very simply because I wanted to basically um, trade scalp daily, but I didn't really find a resource that was really useful to give me um, the sport perpetual trades order books, the CVDs. Like you can see, I've separated the sport, the perpetual CVD to find divergences. Like you can literally see right here, after this pump we got in Asia, spot is literally distributing right now while perpetuals is still holding up, and I think it's still gonna go up because perpetual people are just only people buying tops. The main reason I put all of this together was to scalp and go big in positions. Like uh, it was mostly because of continuation of trades. Like you can see here, the bottom here, you can see there was divergence in both perpetuals and spot CVDs, and then you can see this delta on spot. There was selling in the lows, but it was absorbed very heavily. I punted along here with my Discord guys, and it played out very well. Alongside, when I'm looking at such spots, I usually look at the spot trades. Like you can see, we are distributing right here. Mostly the spot trades, like Binance is selling. Um, then these are the perpetual trades. Perpetual is obviously futures, derivatives. I also use these as confluence. Besides that, I will take a look at these. Well, we had FTX before. FTX was very useful since there were before everything just
Yeah,
pull
FTX was a
pull
huge
FTX
applicable.
were, yeah, FTX was very important. I had FTX marked out separately just because I wanted to see what all these people would do. I personally have a lot of friends who lost 8 figures on it, and they were really good traders, and they used the same stuff. So it was really great to follow them on live footprint, right? Now that FTX is out of the way, the main things I look at is Binance and Bybit
Yeah.
for fading of or absorption.
One thing I wanted to ask you, I was trying to figure out how to get BitGet onto the template because BitGet has, consumed a massive portion of the current open interest and they're throwing in a lot of volume. And I now recognize that some of the Bybit apes that we used to see in, 2020, 2021 have like kind of migrated to BitGet, or do they just have a very
Yeah.
similar style of fucking aping stupid positions on market, slipping a whole bunch of bullshit, and then getting trapped and then puking? So I wanted to try and get BitGet onto the template. For those of you who don't know, AGGR.trade is like one of the best free platforms out there for charting. And this template was built by Shinigami because when you open up the website itself, it's like just a fucking simple chart.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm
I
asking
think
you.
yeah, I think BitGet is not here, but I can set up the template after the stream. Let me see if I can find BitGet, but I'm not seeing it right now.
Cool. We could also probably just ping the HGR guys and be like, hey, can you plug in all
Yeah,
the volume data from BitGet because it's now, it's an
definitely.
up and coming uh, exchange, so there's like good volume to read out of it.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so what did you replace FTX with on the bottom panel for the charts? Or is that still FTX you're seeing down there?
No, 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 no. I think I removed FTX. This is not the updated version, but I mainly look at BitMEX at the moment.
Nice.
BitMEX, I look at BitMEX, Bybit, and Binance Sport.
Cool. Cool. Anybody have any questions on his setup? Feel free to ask while we're talking about it. Do you have any other templates, or is this the only one that you use for what you're doing?
I actually have some different templates, but I don't think they're as good as this one. The rest I use order flow for trading, but that's on Exo.
Yeah, of course.
Let me I can pull up Exo as well. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah, so I'm sure a lot of people are going to have questions on order flow here.
Yeah.
I can see it pretty well. If everybody else can see it, then throw me some feedback. But you want to talk about anything you're seeing today, any setups, what you look for when you're using XO, specifically what you know, how you read order flow.
Yeah. The main things I look in order flow are value areas, alongside price action. For example, value areas are comprised of uh, TPOs, market profiles, right? So here I have this is a TPO, this is a market profile, which is similar to a volume profile, but it has the data of time periods on it as well, so it's very useful. You can see like these are tails, these are single prints, that's inefficiency imbalance. These are really good pivots to trade. Like I would, if price would retrace here, I would definitely put a long here. With confluence, if there's a lot of absorption can be seen, like you can see the there's shorts down here. You can see shorts down here. This is negative delta. Like these shorts and sells have definitely been absorbed, and then we got a pump following it. And then I would look for divergence of CVD, open interest, like how people are doing here. If I really want to fade them, because the main purpose of order flow is to find competitors you want to fade or you want to trade along, right? I mainly have Bybit on, so I mainly look to trade against these people,
Yeah, it
fade
makes
these
sense.
people.
Yeah. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, Bybit has a pretty silly stigma of apes that just aren't efficient and they'll like, take on positions at awful points and they'll take positions with pretty much no edge. So they're, you can pretty much fade them. And I think the first person that brought this to my attention was a few years ago was Jim. He was talking
Yeah,
about how you can always fade them in the first, whatever it was.
definitely.
Any trades you're in right now? Are you in any scalps? Are you in any longs? Are you spot long? Do you have any outlook for the next month and next quarter? What are you thinking? What do you think's gonna happen here?
I'm actually in a long. I think I did take I don't have the best entry, but I think I punted around here, around at this place. Um, Mainly because it was a Asia session, and I was like, yeah, the volatility is pretty much dead in Asia session. So somebody just comes up and pumps and dumps the price, and then you can see the follow up is not very good.
Yeah. So what are you looking for now for continuation? Um, what's going to help you decide whether you're going to fade this entire move or you're going to add?
I think better longs can be around here. I think I had a setup around here, which obviously didn't fail.
Yeah.
I was waiting for price to like come here and then do a follow up. Obviously, my confluence is order flow. I would see if there's people I want to fade, if there's absorption of seller shorters here that I would take. This was my setup. This could have been a good trade, but it didn't obviously fail. Then I just marketed in the Asia session around here.
Yeah, makes sense. For those of you asking if I can make his screen larger, I can't. This is a Discord um, screen sharing. It is full screen right now. I think the issue is the streaming quality. I don't have Nitro because I'm poor and it's a bear market and I can't afford it. So for the next stream, I'll make sure to upgrade. But no, I just don't use Discord anymore. I use Telegram. So for future reference, you live and you learn. Next stream, I will upgrade Nitro so we can share whoever I have on better. Sorry to interrupt you, Shin.
Yeah, no worries.
Cool. Do you trade alts at all? Are there any alts you're looking at?
Yeah, there are. I've been looking at Link a lot. I think Link has definitely got a really good move past few days. There's few coins I'm looking at. I'm looking at Link, Litecoin, LTC, CRV, FTM. These are the four coins I mainly look at,
Cool.
and it's pretty easy to trade them if you know if you have your bias on BTC, then you can just trade the trend.
Yeah, I'm currently in Litecoin on my main account. I'm looking to add, but I haven't really got into aggressively yet for a few reasons. Um, I think we have some Fed meetings tomorrow, don't we? Or what do we have? What
Um,
data is announced tomorrow?
uh, I th- I think I can check. I think we have Powell speaking in a few hours.
Today.
Yeah.
I'll tell you in 1 second. For those of, hold on, I'm gonna pull something up really quick. We have Uncle Sendit's tweet. If you don't know who Uncle Sendit is, he is a legend, pretty low key on Twitter, but he put this helpful little visual out to see what we got going on. Today is the 30th. Damn it, this starts on the 1st. Unfortunate. But yeah, you have a economic calendar and an event calendar. Um,
Yeah.
Theta has, is that a mainnet launch or a meta chain launch? What is that? I don't even know, but I'm long Theta, so there's my narrative. I love looking at narratives. Staking for Chainlink on the 6th. Ape coin as well. Are you long Ape? I know a lot of guys caught the move on Ape in the last few days. I did not, so I'm kind of salty about it. Did you?
No, I did catch Link, but I didn't catch Ape. Yeah.
You want to pull up Ape and see what it looks like on?
Yeah. I can.
Lil Johnny wants to know, how do you expect this consolidation right now to play out, and how do you decide what to do? Is it all based on footprints?
For me, yeah. Um, like this consolidation from the issue session.
I think I lost you.
Uh, can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah, now I can.
Yeah. So I pretty much look at order flow for such consolidations to play out like you can identify if this is a distribution or an accumulation phase depending on how much and how many people are positioned here through open interest and CVD. Better longs, I don't really trade right after a move like this, an impulse like this, in consolidations like this. I usually look at wait for price action to build and then trade if there's a trade. Like most of the times, it's just me longing a retrace. Like price can distribute here, and then I will look for longs around at this place.
And it's very interesting.
Like I just told you, like in TPOs you have single prints. Single prints are inefficiency imbalances, whatever you call them. These are very good pivots for you to take an entry. I would wait for some buyers to ape in at these places, the make sell tails on the TPO, and then wait for retrace and then punt along around these places.
Yes. Shinny, a random question, but Ulix wants to know where you're from. I don't know if you're comfortable sharing, but it's out
Felix,
there.
I think, well,
But anyways,
I have multiple passports. Depends on who's asking. I can be Canadian. I can be
that's what I like
from
to hear.
America. Yeah,
For also,
depends on who's asking.
I wanted to reiterate. It's funny because I don't use uh, order flow in the same manner that he does, right? I don't use XO, but I still
Yeah,
identify, imbalances, inefficiencies, liquidity clusters and charts without it. So those of you who think, oh man, XO's cheating, it's like running with shoes, right? You can run a marathon barefoot, but you can also run a marathon with shoes. It helps a lot. But it's not impossible to identify these types of clusters without
yeah,
these setups. And once you watch price action long enough, like if you just watch the books, you'll start to make these things out without a setup like that. But yes, it does help a lot. But don't think that you're like you're missing an edge without it. If you can learn to identify those types of imbalances without it, and then you take it on, you're like, oh, okay, this helps me visualize it, and you won't always need it. You'll be able to watch the tape and just see like that was a fuck up. Somebody just took a position there, and they're about to get whacked. Like that was ridiculous. Um, yeah, I just wanted to make that note. Shin, anything else you want to show us, or can I pull up some charts and we can have some discussions?
yeah. Sure, you can pull up
Awesome.
some charts.
All right, I'm gonna
Yeah.
close this out. Pull you over here. Boom. All right. Template's still up. Also, Shin, are you willing to share the template to everybody? If anybody,
Yeah, I think I've already shared the template. It's in the announcement section of my Discord,
awesome.
and I think you've already shared it as well.
No, I don't. I haven't shared. I had people ask me about it, but I didn't want to, publicly post it because it's not mine to share. Um, so I normally had people refer to you for it. But if you want me to send a link for it, feel free. All right. Other trade setups I'm looking for. Anybody have some charts they want to show in the messages so we can take a look at them together? If not, I have some things I want to look at. Here. Let's start with BTC. Shin, you use ladder/DOM? Asks students.
I used to, but I don't think it's a very good tool if you're really new into order flow. I think a better option would be if you would learn about option flow. Option flow is very helpful and useless
I
or
don't know what
useful in
ladder/DOM is, so can you break it down for me?
just. I don't think I have.
Okay, Mr. Chicken Hunters wants BNB. Hmm. This is hilarious, this blowout. I don't see any positioning for myself yet. What I see on a long-term structure is market structure breaks, and you kind of had this lingering under resistance. I really want to get into BNB. I just like this price action is horrific. Um, if you want to have a bullish narrative, you can say that it's like somewhat of higher lows. Shin, do you see anything here? I don't, honestly.
No.
A lot of people,
Well, yeah, it's a set of higher lows, but I don't think I really wanna go with a big position right here.
yeah, for me, I still see like this is something you'd probably look for on EXO, right? Like this area here.
Yeah.
Like I see an imbalance here. I like to believe that this is going to get retested. And if it does,
Definitely.
and the whole market pulls back, what I'll look for is something to like break down here, and then I'll look for bids. But more importantly, I'll look for a reaction from this area. If I see a reaction from this area that I like, then I'm comfortable chasing it. But if it comes down through here and it just lingers and it does something like this, then I'm gonna look for a short, right? I'm not gonna try and pull a narrative. But whenever you get like a spicy move like this, this is probably gonna get filled. But this price action is fucking horrific. Good morning. Good morning, Randy. I can't say who that is, but good guy. He's gonna come on here as well at some point.
I think Lil Johnny is asking, may I ask where you learned all this stuff, Shinya? Well, it was a when I started learning all this, it wasn't all put in one place. I had to get chunks of information from here and there
Did you go to school
and
for
put it all
finance at all,
together to.
Shinny?
No, I did not.
Okay, that's a very common theme,
Yeah,
all around. That's the cool thing about this whole space is we all kind of learn from each other and like learn from guys
yeah,
who are here longer than us, and we're kind of passing that information as we go. Silver. Everybody and their fucking mothers is talking about silver on Twitter. Everyone's positioned long. I have such a hideous chart here. I was, playing with some stuff, but let's start fresh. I know there's a remove all drawings button. I loved this. This would have been a great place to watch PA and say, all right, we're getting some moves. Kind of like an old over underplay. This whole entire range kind of got tested in a sense, like kind of that box I had there, which you really wanted to see. I don't know, it's kind of ugly. But, deviation out of a range, a little deviation out of the range, breaks out of the range aggressively. And then look, actually, this is a perfect example. That imbalance
yeah,
here gets retested, right?
yes,
Same thing on BNB we were
definitely.
just looking at. You see this kind of explosion of a move, and you're like, oh, everyone's filling, I'm FOMOing, and then what happens, right? It comes right back down, and you get that retest again.
Yep.
And you get to see it in something traditional like silver, which this is a multi-year situation, right? It took 2020 to
Yeah,
2023, but sooner or later it got retested. So as us, we have attention spans that are awful and we're younger. So, we see this kind of move, we FOMO, everyone on Twitter is talking about it. Silver, silver, silver. Actually, Dime was talking about silver here and I FOMO'd it. I'm not even kidding. I actually I have some trades where I FOMO'd silver here and I still hold that same position here. It's been 2 years. I actually added some like a few days ago and everybody was talking about silver again, like CBS and Maine, and everybody's on the silver train. But there's that example, right? You get that retest here of an imbalance. Now, what am I looking for? This is definitely a spot play for me, by the way. I'm not like gonna hold a derivatives position for several months, several years. For whatever reason, I barely touch traditional, stuff, but this is something that I would touch. Probably, I expect grinds, I expect movement upwards. This kind of looks like an entire market cycle in a sense. It looks like Bitcoin 2017, 2018 to,
yeah,
it really does have a very similar breakdown and then a little breakout. This looks like 1819 era. And then if we're as bullish as we say, this isn't going to move overnight, right? This is going to
yeah,
take time.
definitely.
It's going to grind. It's going to be several years. But I think it's a good thing to hold, for
Yeah,
several
well,
years.
yeah, well, it's better than holding ETH down 99%.
Exactly. Shinny, you got a question from Little Johnny again. He wants to know how you can get confidence in trading. He feels like he never has the confidence to enter. It's not that he risks too much, it's just that he doesn't have the confidence in the analysis. Any advice?
I think a lot of confidence can be achieved if you just um, lower the size and start taking all the trades you see. Better confidence can be achieved if you work and trade with communities, like people can help you.
Yeah, there's
People can point out your mistakes. Like if you have better mentors, if you have better people.
it's
But
really
I
cool.
would
Go ahead.
yeah, I would really suggest if you trade with less size and trade more.
Um, Another thing is it's really cool when people have interest in the market during these times. It's really easy to have interest in the market in a bull
Mm,
market because you could throw a dart at a
yeah,
dartboard, 100x leverage, and you're going to make fuck off amount of money. But the issue is you're going to be so confident and so comfortable that when the bear market comes, you're going to fucking lose it all. And if you stick around, then you're learning, right? You're not going to, the biggest mistake is to
yeah,
learn by winning because you're not going to learn properly. You're going to learn better when you're losing. So if you stick around at times like these, Johnny, and just watch price action, learn vocabulary, understand what drives momentum and where liquidity is. Liquidity is like the all in all in these markets. Um, and then, find setups, learn about different setups. And then when you spot one, define your risk and then figure out, how long until I invalidate this position. What's going to cause me to invalidate this position. Don't just look at somebody on Twitter and say, hey, they longed it, I'm going to long it. They shorted it, I'm going to short it. They got stopped out, I'm going to get stopped out. Understand why they chose an invalidation. Understand, there's so many nuances to it all, but the biggest thing is exposure. It's not going to happen overnight. If you're new to this
yeah.
market, it's going to take years. Um, he wants to know why you're so confident when you take a specific position. Is it a setup that you see all the time that you're like, I've seen this before. This is why I'm going to take it. What's your confidence driver, Shinny?
Yeah, I think a lot of the confidence comes from practice. Where and how do you get practice and experience? You get by losing a lot.
Yeah.
You get by trading a lot.
Lewis told me to pull up waves. Lewis, if you're still here, very similar setup to theta, and a lot of charts have this kind of setup right now. You had this fucking the FTX implosion drew down everything, right? And so then you have this kind of a base structure forming, and I like to draw this rounding structure because it's kind of a piece of confluence for me. Like you have three lows
Yeah.
tested, one, two, three, and then off the bottom low, you start to get this grind up. And once you start to see this grind up, it's kind of like, all right, this is getting defended. The bottom of the range is getting defended. And when you see it getting defended, it starts to round up, you know? Then what I anticipate, right? You could even get a stop sweep, right? If we did get a stop sweep, you'd be like, all right, whatever, let's watch the price action after. After, if I start to see this, you know, I expect an explosive move up. What's going to happen? I think we're going to test liquidity in this region. And just from a liquidity test, you can get an insane move. But the biggest thing to remember in this type of structure is that we're still in a bear market. So if you do catch this move, take profits because yeah, I mean, look, if you zoom out, you're like, wow, this thing can go up to $8 again. That was the mistake I made in 1819. It was like holding alts from 2017 that I was like, oh, this thing can go up there again. But look, this thing could rally, you know, 30% and still just be the greatest bear market rally of all time and continue going to zero. Um,
Do you use ES and as confluence when taking trades on BTC? Do you have the same bias for each? Yeah, I look at ES a lot. I look at SPX ES a lot. I think we have a lot of correlation with BTC after the quantitative tightening. Yeah, we have a lot of correlation with ES in the stock market after quantitative tightening.
sh-
I even shorted the top on SPX because of that. I shorted
do you
the top
trade
two times.
traditional products often?
I have swing trades on ES only, and sometimes along with a group. I have a Discord group, right? So sometimes along with people, I do trade Euro USD, GPB.
Nice.
Very few times if there's volatility here.
Nice. Lewis also wanted me to take a look at uranium, I guess, if we're talking about traditional. This shit is uh, out of my repertoire. It's not something I normally would touch. But this is an insane consolidation. I don't even, what do you make of this? This is like a multi-year consolidation with like kind of some sort of pennant structure. I don't even know what it is. Do you see a trade here? Does anything, would you hold uranium spot going into World War
Uh,
III?
not my cup of tea to hold
Yeah,
uranium.
yeah, not my cup of tea either. But I like to look at it. It's cool. It's cool to see. I'm sure someone out there is trading this,
Gee,
and they have an edge, but I
use the
don't.
same order flows. Cowboy is asking, do you use the same order flow strategies for market? By order flow, yeah, I do, but in terms of other pairs, I don't think they trade inverse perpetuals for all pairs. So I use whatever we can get. I do use that for ES and SPX. Yeah, the main strategy is to look for people you can fade.
Yeah, I love that. That's so true. How long have you been trading, Shin?
Like it's been more than 2 3 years.
Cool. So we like to hear. Anybody have any other charts they want me to take a look at? TradFi or crypto? Feel free to just keep shilling them. What else do we have in store? Do you have, Shin, I have a question for you. Do you have long-term spot holdings, like a cold storage of any sorts?
The only thing I think I hold is BTC and ETH, but that's uh, not really for a quick profit or quick money. It's for a hold of value. Like I'll get out even on 1 hour. If I invested like 100K, then I would even get out on 10 to 20K of profit, because I think that these are the only things in crypto that are worth holding and are worth of value.
I completely agree. Do you have a larger holding of the two between ETH and BTC? Which of the two do you hold more of?
BTC.
Okay. Do you have a narrative shift at all with ETH going deflationary, or are you still a BTC maxi over ETH?
Yeah, I'm a BTC maxi.
Nice.
I
Love to hear it.
think ETH is gonna blow up or die by this situation and the way we are trending down. I think it's gonna be touching lower prices if this keeps going on.
So you have a similar thesis to what Jim wrote out the other day?
I'm sorry, what?
Did you see the thesis that Jim wrote on that newsletter for the Haven? I think it was. It was pretty much says ETH is
Uh,
going zero.
uh, no, I think I can pull it up.
I'll send you the link. It's a pretty long read, but it's not that
Yeah.
long. Matic. I pull up Matic to find a beautiful trade I took. Unfortunately, um, I don't see a setup like I used to. What made me draw this out was pretty simple. You had lower highs here, but I still saw that rounding structure coming up into those lower highs. So it was kind of like this single, I call this single based analysis because it's hilarious. It's literally just one line that really derives my conclusion. Um, and I saw these dips. Everything was nuking. Everything was fucking. I remember there was no bid anywhere, but every Matic dip was getting swallowed, right? And that is extremely bullish structure in my opinion. How I derived my TP was pretty simple. I zoomed out, right? In a bear market, I expect, liquidity to re-tap. This was kind of, honestly, this was kind of lucky. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I remember taking some profit along the route, but I left the rest of the position up to where I saw. But pretty much why I chose this area was like, this, right? Maybe
Yeah.
1.2926 was super lucky to be that close, but I was TPing this whole area. I never have one single take profit because I've been in a position where I've gotten, you know, I missed my TP by cents and the whole position retraced. And this is a perfect example. If I
Yeah.
hadn't taken profit along the route, and let's say this just cut short, let's say this was my TP, we would have been at my fucking entry again, and that would have sucked. I would have hated to
Yes.
see this. That's
Yeah.
so upsetting.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the main reasons I have a lower TP and a lower R positioning strategy. Like I mainly go for 1 to 2 R for every position I have. It depends if the move is trending and I think this trade can be held, then I hold such trades, and those are the trades that end up in big returns.
Yeah, completely agree. I think we got some questions while I was talking about this.
Um,
Ulix wants to know, is it good to hedge your directional trades on BTC with bets on World Cup in football? I'm actually gambling in the World Cup. I don't know if you are,
yeah,
Shin, but I have money on
yeah.
Argentina
So am
today.
I.
Who do you have winning today versus Argentina?
I know I didn't bet today, but I did bet yesterday. I lost someone betting on Iran. Yeah, I thought Iran was gonna win against USA.
I'm sorry, I
Uh,
was your
we
counterparty.
were gonna, yeah. Oh,
I love that.
have
But for a current setup on Matic, low time
I
frame.
think to hedge your directional trades, I think better things are option trading. I think better things are to just learn options and do option trading besides directional betting.
Everything kind of has a bid, so you kind of get this like rounding structure that I keep talking about every time. That doesn't help you decide an entry, but it does, hey, say, hey, the whole market has a bid.
Um, Dr. Monster has asked, what does single print mean and why does it fail? Single print, you have to understand the basic structure of a TPO. TPO is market profile. It's a little different from a volume profile. A single print is basically an inefficiency, an imbalance on the TPO that has occurred in less than 30 minutes. If that move is very fast, that's likely to leave inefficiency in the chart and is likely to be bid or sold at that price again.
Very well put.
What was a pivotal point in your trading when you went from losing break-even to consistent profit? Was it a mindset change or systematic change? I think mine was a systematic change. I was just at the start, I was just betting on price action. I had no idea what I was doing, so I lost a lot. Then I learned order flow and put that all together, and then I ended up with a good strategy, which helped me a lot. And when you get a good strategy, you bet a lot after losing, and you see results. Yeah, definitely your mindset changes a lot.
Also, something I like to suggest, which I don't do too much of, which would make me a better trader, and that is why I created my Telegram, is journal. Like
Yeah,
journaling sounds
journaling helps a lot. Yeah,
it
definitely.
sounds bad, but like if you just look at what you did wrong, you'll remember. Because the issue is a lot of people will make a mistake and they'll get caught in the noise and they'll keep moving forward and then they'll make the same mistake again because they
Yeah.
didn't learn from that mistake, write it down and remember it, right? Journaling allows you to reflect on what you did. Are you asking me to turn up my mic or Shin, by the way, Jared?
Uh,
Let us
I
know.
can hear you perfectly fine. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. Um, Someone asked if we looked at Link. I want to talk about this really quick. Okay, Ponzi. All right, I'll just put it closer to my face. Um, Link has a very, very aggressive price action right now. It's like, a lot of market makers have kind of stepped away over the last few weeks because of all the noise. So, markets have become a little more predatory and aggressive. But this is like a great example. You have this like really aggressive accumulation. It's almost like a twop. Like somebody's like, fuck you. I'm just going to keep adding. And then you have this break in market structure that takes out everybody's stops because what they were probably seeing, like what the obvious setup was, we're getting this, we can probably bid 697, blah, blah, blah. They take the stops, the bid is still there, and everything keeps running. What I expect out of something like this is a very aggressive move. And if you're scalping and if there's volume, you might be able to chase it. But like this is probably going to retest, these highs here or higher with the staking narrative in like 6 days. And since you have the narrative, you can probably take a look at band, um, for the contagion. I haven't looked at band in a long time, but you could probably see if it's catching a similar bid. Let me turn off the VPVR. I forgot band did a retarded move, like a 5x a few weeks ago. Not something I would touch. Not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Shin, you got more questions?
I think. Do you always have to look for CBD divergence, footprints, single prints together, or can you make a decision just based on one analysis? Let's say only CBD divergences. Yeah, well, yeah, you can do that. Can you pull up the AGGR
Yeah,
here?
absolutely.
There's another question. If you are looking for CVD divergences, what time frame does it matter the most? If you could pull up the AGGR, I could
Yeah,
show.
I'm on it. Hold on. Cool. Oops. go away. All right, talk to me.
I think the best time frame to look at CVDs is below 10 minutes, like 5 minute, 3 minute, 1 minute charts. It's because if you go way above those charts, you will find confusion, mostly because what's happening in these shorter time frames is constant trades opening, closing. The bigger the time frame you choose, the more there's confusion and the less valuable the data is. Like if you're looking at 1 day, or like if you're looking at 4 hours on the CVD, you will not get the same value as you will get on the 1 minute, 3 minute chart, because there has been a lot of buying and selling at the same time in the 4 hour candle. So it's best to look at 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and 1 minute charts for CVD divergences. If you're looking at open interest, then yeah, you can go for bigger time frames, because that's also valuable data. But for CVDs, for footprints, I don't recommend going above 15 minute or 10 minute charts.
Any reason you don't have open interest on this?
Um,
Just unnecessary, redundant.
yeah, and a bit unnecessary for me here. I look at open interest and the rest of the things on EXO.
What are your thoughts on this dislocation between spot and perp right here?
Uh, where the current
You kind of had this, dislocation now. You're seeing that perpetuals are really driving the price, and
yeah,
spot
I
is
think
lagging
yeah,
behind.
yeah, I talked about it in the start of the stream. I did talk about it. This a clear divergence here. Sport just completely retraced most of the move. This is uh sport is definitely distributing while perps is still holding. I think it depends a lot on the time frame as well. Like if we can still consolidate till the next Asia session, uh, this can still pump more.
Wow, it's crazy. You can kind of see that div much larger on a. But I think that if the spot bid does catch, the move is going to be ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's going to be such an aggressive move. Um, some people want to see some more charts. Let me pull some up really quick. I know somebody said STG and I had missed it. For those of you who don't know what Stargate is, um, it was murdered by FTX and Alameda. They farmed the shit out of this thing. So naturally, it has one of the uglier charts in the space. I love Layer Zero. I love what Brian and team are doing. To trade, it's just not my cup of tea. Once again, I can't trade this. There's no volume. There's no liquidity. There's not really a structure or setup I'm into. For an investment, if you're bullish on it into a macro bullish environment, it's gonna perform really well. It's gonna do multiples. I just have different places that I allocate my capital to. Can't really do it here. Another one, really quick. AVAX. Oh, GRT. Sorry, brother, I skipped you. I don't know. You see anything, Shin? I kind of want to say the liquidity. Like, look at that, but that's not even. I'd have to look at uh, some other factors about this. Not really my thing. I don't really see anything. Do you? I can tell you that a little bit of volume would drive this thing crazy. I haven't seen if volume's doing anything. AVAX.
Yeah.
That was CT's baby for a while. Ba-ba-da-ba. Similar structure. Everything, like I said, has a very similar structure.
Yeah.
Just some are better than others to try and chase into moves. This one, you kind of have that effect. If you want to bid the end of the range and invalidate below the lows, sure. It's now more about probability than it is about, or I guess beta too, right? Like you kind of just want to bid the shit that has strength. I have no idea why. A dinosaur coin. Look at that. This is the perfect example
Yeah.
of a great trade to have taken. First, narrative. All of the dinosaur coins are running. You had LTC, XRP. I should have known Icon was next. I should have reflecting on this, I should have looked at my list of dinosaur coins I used to trade back in the day, all the things that caught volume together, all the things that caught bid together, and then thought, all right, ICX is next. But secondly, you have the TP, right? You saw this whole structure get filled. You saw all this liquidity. Now, I would probably even short this thing. Am I going to? No. I'm not desperate for a trade. But I don't think there's more to this, right? And what would I look for if there was? I'd kind of look for a little grinding up. The bid is still real, and then we're back up here, and then you can look for different liquidity to catch. But that's the perfect example of a bear market rally, and there's going to be a lot of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, dinosaur coin moved. That's really cool to see. Wait, let's see if there's any other dinosaur coins moving. Sorry, I'm just not a dinosaur coin, but it is a fucking scam. KSM moving. See, all of these structures are going to have very similar plays. Sometimes it's nice to try to catch the laggard, but you can kind of target these imbalances on most of the structures. All of these imbalances were from the FTX collapse. So, look, Filecoin or FTM just did the same thing, right? You had that rounding structure. Are you still? You said you were looking at FTM. Are you still interested in it now?
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
See, to me, this is a completed trade, right? There's no entry here. Maybe for scalping, but like the structure that I see that I love was this rounding bottom triple, 3 tap system. Try to just start to catch the bids, and then TP in this area here. Same thing, right? You have that same structure, some free liquidity up ahead. I don't know about you, but sometimes I'll just sit at home and just like run through wow. This catches my eye. One specific reason, it's one of my favorite patterns. This one's way uglier than most that I've seen, but it's kind of got the Livermore, cone in it, right? You get tapped to the bottom and top of the cone, and then you kind of break out, but you caught this whole, stop run. This is a way better structure to trade in bull markets, not so much bear markets. CHZ.
Yep.
And Doge. By the way, do you like reading? Any books you recommend, by the way?
No, I don't really think reading books is very useful for you. I think I would better recommend that you go learn to code and you go learn how to make algos and trade against algorithms
That
instead of reading books and
that
wasting
is
time
my
on those.
biggest regret in this young life I've had was I didn't learn any computer science, so I feel like I have less of an edge um, in this realm, and I suggest anybody that is still pretty young. I am pretty young, so it's a pretty stupid thing for me to say, but I'll take the time at some point. But I do have a book that I think that you should also reach in. It's more about speculation. And the stories of a speculator, Jesse Livermore's Reminiscences of a Stock Operator. Very, very interesting read, and it helps you develop an understanding of risk on, risk off, when to chase the market, when not to. So little simple things. But for developing a strategy or a method, it's not you're not going to do that off of a book. Sorry, I forgot to check other charts. Doge, I was super bullish. Doge, have you been looking at Doge at all, Shin?
Well, I wait for Elon to make a. I did look at Doge when Elon was buying Twitter. That was a pretty good trade.
Yeah. Anything you see here now, I kind of like this type of structure. I'm not gonna lie, it's very easy to invalidate, right? Just
Yeah,
higher lows. Good for scalping. You can really, decide a direction.
yeah.
It kind of has a similar structure to what Link did. Another dinosaur cone now that I think of. Guys, I love everyone for showing up and asking questions. And, I love pulling up charts. I have to go here. Shin, thank you so much for coming on.
I appreciate you
That was a lot of fun.
to
I'm
invite me.
sure a lot of people learned a lot, and I'd love to have you back on again. And by the way, if you play any video games, I do. So if you want to play anything, let me know.
Yeah,
Um,
sure. I'll let you
oh,
know.
fuck. I almost forgot to announce the giveaway winners. Thank you for reminding me, Brody. Bingo. All right, let me pull up the UIDs really quick. I know your UID because I have to read them by UID. It's going to be each winner got $1,000. You could also probably actually no, they haven't been deposited yet. But the first one is 463115. Here, I'll actually write it down in the comments here. If you won, if either of these are your UIDs, make sure to reach out to me. I'm giving everyone 48 hours to reach out to me, and I'll have them pick another winner. Okay? So if they're all fucking. Hold on. I'll write them individually. Winner 1, winner 2, and winner 3. Okay? If you're any of those 3, reach out to me. I'll have them deposit the $1,000. Yeah, good karma for reminding, right? I'll have them deposit the $1,000 in your account, and you have 48 hours. Once again, 48 hours to claim it. Thank you everybody for coming on. The stream is powered by Phemex. It's where I do all of my trading. If you want to copy trade my challenge account, it's on Phemex. It's not public. He said he's going to fix that now. Shin, thank you one more time for coming on. I had a ball. I learned a lot from you. And we'll stay in touch.
Sure.
Thanks, brother. Ciao.
Yeah.
Yep, that was